I'm on a bit of a roll today, guys. I just thought we'd go ahead and do it. Now, there's some things we've not spoke about, just I've not recorded videos and whatever. There's a few kind of topics we want to touch on, okay? The first one being the whole IPO gate type of thing, right? Now, my opinion of the IPO, where the way it's left now, where it's an undisclosed time, undisclosed price. This is a list of the players that will go out at some point tomorrow. I think it's really the best thing you could hope for, to be honest. I don't see it. I don't know what is the ultimate best solution, to be honest with you, but I think it's fine. I think the first time they done it caught people by surprise. Who cares, really? The list of players that went out, it's not as if it was like Ronaldo or, you know, you gotta understand, guys, it's Football Index and it's just football, and it's, you know, nobody's sitting there with like 200 grand in their account thinking my account needs to have this new IPO player in it at the cheapest possible price, or this index thing is not worth me ever doing. These IPO players are just new players coming in to the index, you know, and if you have them, great. If you don't have them, really, who cares, man? You know, the prices will swing around all the time, and that's kind of the other kind of little bugbear I've had recently on like the Twitter and stuff like this as well. Like people, oh, like, here we go. Yusuf Poulsen's a good example. Oh, you know, I don't know if I've actually seen a tweet about Yusuf Poulsen. I probably have, but this thing's happened quite a lot in the international break. Oh, why are people panic selling this guy because he never scored against fucking Georgia or Gibraltar or whatever? But what you need to understand, guys, with any backward movement is you've got, number one, you've got no idea who's sold those shares to drop the price from 138 to 125. You have no idea. For all you know, that person or people have held this guy since he was 60p, and then when he gets up there, they're not panic selling because he didn't score against Georgia. They're just going, well, do you know what, I've had this guy 6 months, he's doubled in money, I'm happy to take that and move on. You know, so you need to understand that, guys. Just because if you were to sell him then and there, it would be a panic sell, it doesn't mean that's what's happened. You know, like, it happens all the time, guys. We've got a video called Double Dip. You'll find it dead easy. It's in the strategies playlist. But when you watch the trend of a player, their price movement up and down and whatever, it really does shed a light for you onto what type of people are holding them. And you've got to take a step back and go, right, well, if I sold him right now, it would be panic selling. But this guy's not been this price for very long. Like this Haaland guy, he's been back 2 pence because he didn't score against Sweden last night. You know what I mean? But somebody might have held him. Somebody has held him probably since IPO at 72 pence. And they may think, do you know what, I'm at 300%. I'm taking some of that money. And it's not the end of the world, you know, if you're that person. That's what you want to do. And so when you're buying somebody, guys, and they make a little backward movement like that, number one, it's your responsibility to be tracking a player before you buy them. And if you look at the QV value that we have, one of the big ones in there I give points to is you have tracked the player and you have found a safe position for yourself to buy. You're happy with that price, you're happy with where they're sitting, etc, etc. Because if you don't track players' prices, you don't monitor them, you just buy them on a whim. Done it myself, you've done it, I'm sure of it. You regret it 9 times out of 10. It's very rare that you'll catch somebody just, oh wow, I'm just going to go buy Pulisic, you know, and then it works out for you. It's so rare, you know, because the best trades you make, you are studying somebody like, oh, Maddison, I wish I bought Maddison before he got over £4. I knew I should have bought him at £3.96. And then you just watch and you're waiting, and he might return there. And when you do, the chances of you being disappointed are much, much slimmer than whether if you go, right, England are playing tomorrow, I'm going to buy Maddison, he's 403, and then maybe he doesn't play again, maybe he doesn't get capped, maybe he gets injured for Leicester, and then before you know it, he's £2.40, and you're like, oh, I'm so raging I bought Maddison at £4, you know, it's a bit of an extreme example, I'm dropping down to £2.40, maybe more like £3.70 or something, but you understand, you know, what I'm getting at, guys. So when you do see backward movement, if you don't understand it, you've got to look at yourself first of all and go, why has this happened, right? Is it because he didn't play? Is it something tangible that I can understand? Yes, it is. Well, that explains it. That's great. Is there something that's not tangible? This guy's randomly went back. Let's just look at the decrease. Let's see if we've got a good example. They've been playing international football, I suppose, haven't they, all these guys? But in any case, Danny Drinkwater's went back 3p, right? Why is that? You know, you can't. If there's nothing tangible around it, chances are somebody's just held this person for a long time, or a long enough time where they just want to get out of them and move on their money to somewhere else. So if you are surprised by backward movement, and I say all the holds I have, guys, see if they go back 1, 2, 3, 4 pence, I'm just disappointed myself that I didn't hold a little bit longer before buying them. But it doesn't mean I regret buying them or I don't want to own them anymore. Because if that was the case, then you shouldn't be buying them. If a 4 pence backward swing in the first 10 days, let's say, puts you off buying that person altogether, you don't want to own them anymore, then you shouldn't have bought them. When you bought them, you should have held off. You know, I know what it's like, guys. Sometimes you're like a woman going shopping. Sorry for the sexist stereotype, but if you've got money in your pocket, you get money in your balance, you just want to spend it. You know, we're all quite similar, I think, in that sense. But you need to just close the app, go away from it, and go, no, do you know what? I'm going to wait till Thursday, and then I'm going to look and see if this guy, you know, whatever. I'll give you a great example, right? Lanzini, I'd been eyeing him up for this sub strategy that we've got, and he was bouncing back down. It was in this movement here, he was going backwards and backwards. I was like, oh, brilliant. See if I can get him down to like £1 or even less than that, I'll be so happy. And then out of nowhere, Argentina are not playing international football. Obviously people have seen the West Ham Monday fixture or whatever, and through no reason, the day before I'd scheduled to buy him, because I want him for the full 30 days that I can get my hands on for him, the day before, it shoots up from 106 to 113, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's me missed the boat. But what I said to myself when I planned to buy Lanzini was, no matter what price Lanzini is on the, whatever day it was like Saturday or whatever, the 5th of September or whatever day it was, on the 5th of September, no matter what price Lanzini is, I want to buy him. So then whatever price he is, it doesn't sway me. I don't think, oh, he's 115, I could have had him at 106. Which is a disappointing thing, guys, don't get me wrong, but if you let something like that put you off, then you shouldn't be buying them, first and foremost. And equally, if it went the other way, you might be eyeing somebody up and they swing backwards like 10 pence. Would that put you off, or would that excite you even more? It would excite me even more, because oh, thank God I held off. Got an even better opportunity to buy this guy. Breel and Bolo, by the way, you can ask Football Manager, so I did tell him this. It was between him and Kluivert for that sub-strategy, and Kluivert just got the nod ahead of him. But had this happened to Breel and Bolo before I bought Kluivert, that might have changed, and that's a little bit different because you're weighing up one person against another. They both offer similar things, and blah, 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 blah. But again, if you buy something to go backwards so quickly, that shouldn't put you off owning them or buying them or whatever, because all it is somebody's held this guy for maybe 6 months, a year at 50 pence, and they think, oh brilliant, it's over £1, let's sell him, and don't let it sway you. That he could be a good hold, guys, or he is a good hold, but depends. So and I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There's a few things I just wanted to get off my chest that I've seen on Twitter, and you know, just the community in general, just things with Football Index. There's the IPO stuff we spoke about, movements on players, and especially like I've tried to stay out of the way of the international stuff and not let it affect me, and I haven't. I was pretty gutted about Lamar, because I've bought and sold him 2 or 3 times, as you guys will know, and I thought I went to buying Cuckoo, and I've topped up on Hamadou Diarra, and I've topped up on Sabitzer finally, so I got another 15 of him, so our average price has gotten a bit higher, which nobody likes to see, but I've got a fresh 15 shares in him, and I bought him at like 120, you know, when he was at that real low, 123, so I thought he's probably not going to get this cheap again for a while if he plays well for Austria, which he did. What I didn't anticipate was Konrad Laimer was going to play well for Austria, and he's shot up. Okay, so you get into this situation, and you can do one of 2 things. You can panic sell, and you can chase the buck, right? And we could have done this with Laimer. We could have bought him at like 70 pence when he had a goal and an assist to come his way, and he still went up a couple of pence, which is great, right? But, and this isn't to put anyone off Laimer, by the way, but this is just to give you a situation when you've got that little bit of buyer's remorse. Oh, I should have bought him at 50 pence. He's 74 pence now. Austria have got Poland to play, and then they've got Bayern Munich to play. The chances of Konrad Laimer winning any more PB in those 2 games is slim enough for me to hang fire. Do I believe I can get him in the 60p mark? Yes, I do. Is that a bad thing if you're holding Laimer? No, because if you've got him at 50p, it's still profit. But what you will always have is somebody who's held him for a year or longer, since he was 29 pence, and they think, you know what, this is a great time to get out, I'm just going to sell, and his price might go backwards, it might not, he might continue to rise and to grow, and I might miss the boat again even further, which is fine. And what some people have done is they've panic bought. They've thought, oh, Laimer, he's done so well, I'm going to buy him and sell him, I'm going to flip him in one day, and then they end up getting stuck with him, or they decide to keep him or whatever. And then when the next run of fixtures come by, Austria, Poland, I think it's tonight, maybe tomorrow, and then Bayern and Leipzig on the Saturday, and he doesn't win anything, doesn't do much, then some people will fade and drip off him again. And even if you look at somebody who's really successful for me, like Sabitzer and Jordan, it's the same trend. It doesn't make them a bad hold. Or it doesn't mean it's a bad thing that I'm saying this, but look at their movement. You know, he's dropped all the way down to 126, and then boom, they pop back up, and then they'll slim down, and then they'll boom back up, and then they'll pop down. And that'll be to greater and lesser extents, depends on the player and the situation. But even Sabitzer, like I was saying to you there, like, you know, he's kind of been up in that kind of 130 odds for a long time, and the really lowest he was getting was 124. I think we picked him up at 124, maybe 123, and then again, boom, he's up past 130. So you'll get these slight movements, so don't panic. Yeah, I mean, you can't make all the profit on everyone. You can just make the most amount of profit that you possibly can. Okay, so yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. I just wanted to get this stuff off my chest, and it's good to see another Leipzig player winning, another Leipzig midfielder as well. We've been doing really well on the channel with midfielders, as you know, winning PB. So that was really good for me to see. And we'll be doing the match day 5 review tomorrow. Okay, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Stay out of trouble. Like, share, subscribe, retweet. Catch you in the next one. Take care. Ta-da.